Hello. How to move up from entry level to my next position. Alright, I'm gonna try to simplify this because this is like my third time trying to record this because there's so many steps and I don't feel like just rambling on. I just want to make it very, very simple. When you get on the ship, it's your first ship, just get a field of every position and what they do and what you do and what's your responsibility and who's working in your department and other department. Maybe I want to do this. Just get a field. That is the first thing you're going to do. Like, do I want to stay in supply? Or do I want to stay in engine? Or, dang, I was thinking about moving the deck. Whatever it is, figure out what is your thing. What do you want to do? I always leave out communications. It's more than just, well, entry level at least. Whatever department. See, I'm doing it again. My brain just go everywhere. Figure out what department you want to work for. Once you have figured out what department you want to work for, you have to do OJT for the position you want to apply for. OJT is on the job training. So with me, I started off as a SU on my first ship. I had no intention of moving up. Second ship, I had no intentions of moving up. And then on my third ship, I was like, you know what? I'm done with the entry level position. I want to move up. So what I did, I took my steps. I wanted to remain in supply. So I went to my junior supply officer, JSO, well, not mine, the junior supply officer. And I was like, hey, I want to do OJT. How can I go about doing my training? He was like, get with so-and-so, the yeoman, and then make sure you both find a time that works for you two and go from there. So what I ended up doing is I would show up every day or the day that he had available for me to come to do my OJT. And I kept writing down all the hours that I did. I completed this many hours because that piece of paper was going to matter for me in the future. And I'll get into that. So I had the list of all the days. When the time came around that I had to put in, because you cannot just get the job. You have to apply for the job from within. So once a year, they open up the position for whatever you're applying. So I went ahead and printed out what they're looking for. You're creating a whole resume of what ships you've been on and what type of training you have received for the position you're asking for. There's also the KSA part of it. I can't remember what the KSA stands for. I know it's knowledge something, but I'll put it in the video. I'll figure it out. You have to answer the 3 questionnaire that they're asking for the position plus your resume. Now, once you complete that resume, the package, is what it's called, you send it in. Now, once they get it, you will receive an email that have received your resume. Now, this is what's going to happen. You're either going to get a letter stating that you made BQ, which is best qualified. You're either going to get one that says Q, which means you qualified, or you just didn't make it at all. So, but let's, for the purpose of the video and my steps and what I did, I applied for assistant storekeeper and I made it to the best qualified list. What happens is, let's say there was 20 of us on the best qualified list. They will probably, depending on the timing and how many they need during that year, let's say they pick 15. What happens is the first 15 people, because it's all score based, like your whole resume gets scored and they put them in order throughout the score. So the first 15 automatically get a permanent letter for that position, and that's what happened with me. You get a permanent letter. So now once you receive that letter, you are your next new position permanently is that position that you apply for. Okay, but what happens to the rest of the people that was on the BQ list or the Q list, the qualified list? For those people, unfortunately and still fortunately, they don't get a permanent letter. However, because they made it to the list, they can now go to their ship. I mean, not the ship. They can speak to the people on the ship and say, hey, I made qualified or I made best qualified. Can I sell temp in that position? And some people, if they have the availability, you will be able to sell temp as that position and you will get the pay for it. So you might not have a permanent letter, but now you can sell temp in that position and make the pay. What happens with that is once you leave that ship and you check back in the pool, you go back to your permanent position, which was entry level for this purpose of the video. Entry level. What also can happen when you check in the pool, let's say they're very short an assistant storekeeper, but they seen that they had already temporarily promoted you before, they can send you back out as a temp, and then you're back on a different ship as that. And then now you have to wait for the year to open up again for you to reapply and go through those steps again. And that's how it is as far as moving up. You have to apply, you have to put in, and you have to make either best qualified or qualified, and then you get a permanent letter. But to be completely honest, the only sole purpose of qualified is so that you can still sell temp. The only people that get the permanent letters are the people on the BQ list, and not all of them. It's just certain people in order that they choose. So it is a little lengthy, it is a little stressful, and it is a lot to do just to move up, but it's possible. I've done it before. I applied for assistant storekeeper, made best qualified, and I was one of the top 10 and got my permanent letter. And then I applied for yeoman and made best qualified. Yet again, I was one of the top 10 and got my permanent letter as well. Now, in between moving up, you are required, there's classes you also have to take. You don't just apply and get it. You then have to follow up with the classes that come with the new position. But yeah, that's how you do it. That was such a long video, but it's the same thing department to department. If you want to go from supply to deck, you go talk to chief mate or ship bosun or cargo bosun and say, hey, I want to move to your department, what can I do? Then they can communicate with the purser. They'll talk to the base and be like, hey, he or she is a SU, they're trying to move over to ordinary seaman. We have room on the ship, let's try to get them switched over, and it will. And then from there, you have to do the same step I just explained for you to move up to the next position, which would be OS to AB, and then so forth and so forth and so forth. Same thing with a wiper. You switch department, you go from one entry level to the next. You're a wiper, then you move up and move up, move up. And the other, like I said, I always forget to mention communication, comms. If you want to work in radio, you can do that as well. I don't think you could come in and go straight work for radio unless you have, like, obviously experience, but there's no entry level for communication. We have security clearance, they have top security clearance, top secret. So yeah, that should tell you guys everything. See you later, alligator. Oh, what's yellow? Let's drop a banana. Let's drop a banana because I'm very bright today. If you made it this far, 8 minutes into the video, drop a banana. Ciao.